right, shalom, shalom. If you can hear me, this lighting is terrible. Oh well, there's nothing I can do about that. Let's get started. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. I have a new microphone, and I just want to make sure that I can be heard. If y'all can hear me, please let me know. Let me if y'all can hear me in the chat, let me know. Okay, good, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Now let's get the music right. I cannot work in silence. We're not gonna hold y'all too long. There we go, much better. All right. Hello, shalom, shalom, shalom. We are not going to hold y'all too long. Thank you for joining me. I have not done a live stream. I have not been on camera in a very, very long time. And it was much needed rest and rejuvenation and enlightenment. And so we're just going to talk about a few of these things. Hopefully some other people will catch this later or whatever is going on. I know there's a lot of excitement with the Aurora and whatever. So we're going to oh, thank you so much. I literally just woke up. I set my alarm and I wasn't sure that it was going to work, and it almost didn't. But we're here. We are here. All right, so I just don't like this angle, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Like, the lighting in here is bad anyway, and so, like, I can't handle also bad lighting. And bad angles is bad. So, we're going to talk about spiritual protection and also, the mystery school. So let's delve deep into spiritual protection first. It's really, really important for people to keep their spiritual hygiene and their spiritual protection up. There's a lot of different energies that are out there that are not just like normal energies that you would typically come into contact with. It's a very heightened spiritual kind of energy out here, and so I wanted to give y'all some tips, some suggestions, some ideas on how to do your spiritual protection. Now I'll start with what I have available, some of the stuff I have available that's nearby. All right. Over here. Yeah. This is the Helm of All. This is the Helm of All. This is, if you guys remember the Cat Williams chain that he had around his neck, this is the sigil that was basically on it. It's called the Helm of All. I do have some of these if people are having a hard time finding ones that they like. I don't know where the ones that I have are right now, but I'm going to suggest that you get, especially if you have kids, get a pack of these, put them on chains, give them to your kids. This is a protection sigil. I think I did a video about this, but this was in relation to the household idols, the teraphim that people kept in their house to protect from these different gods. So in the story, what's his name? David's wife put a sigil up to protect David from being caught by Saul, and this is one of the sigils that they use. And so when they came in looking for David to take him to Saul to kill him, they couldn't find him. She had covered him up, and this was one of the protection symbols that she was using. Okay, this is another one that I talked about. You can see it's called a Manofigo. Turn it this way, and you can see it's like a fist with a symbol. If you're somewhere where you think people are doing not just evil eye, but evil eye and some type of sexual entrapment or whatever on you, this symbol is a protection from that. This is not really the typical one that people use. Usually they get it in red coral. This is lapis. If people are interested in these, I can order more. If you're not able to find it on your own, just send me an email, and I'll go back to the place where I got this from. This sigil, this right here, is something that men need. Now, typically they have said that this is for women, but we're going to talk about the protection that we need to put around our men a little bit later on. But I wanted to bring this up. So women can use this, but men also need this too. This is really, really important because our men are being attacked sexually by that demon Onoskelis. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But I just want to talk about these first before I get into the other stuff. But yeah, this is a Manofigo, and I'm pretty sure I did a video about this too. Everybody needs one of these, but especially our men. And it's best if it's in silver. For this case, the ones that we're better off using are gold colored, but right now we have to be worried about men. Now, this is Shalom, Shalom. This is one that you can't buy. I mean, nobody. I had this custom made. I didn't even know that this is what I was going to get. But it was custom made, and I do believe the girl says she can make some more. But this is black sapphire and chrysolite, and really it's supposed to be in silver. So the ones that she makes for other people are going to be in silver. But you need some black sapphire and chrysolite, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but I want to show all the pieces first. So she put them together for me. Like I said, I had no idea. This right here carries the angel that protected Abraham from the angel that protected Abraham from Azazel. This is representative of him, which is the good angel that sits on your shoulder. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. What else do I have over here? Oh, is that hot? Not too hot. Okay. This is my candle. Y'all, I did share these little sticker things so that you can print them out. Remember, this is the sigil of our sister. I just wanted to show you mine. I keep mine in these little staunches. I got these from church. So I match mine with the color that's in style right now. You definitely want to keep you a candle. What I wanted to show you about the candle, besides that, is when you do your candles, okay, no matter what kind of candle it is, you want to take the candle and rub it over your body. Rub it, I did my head clockwise, down to all of my limbs, down to my feet, and then I go in reverse and in my head counterclockwise. That puts your energy into the candle. And then you also want to get you some real pencils. Real pencils, number 2 pencils. They're made of cedar wood. So you want to use a real pencil with real graphite or lead, and because there's spiritual properties in the graphite, there's spiritual properties in the cedar wood, and basically when you put these together, it is literally like a magic wand. This is why, where's my wand at? Has a point. That's not a coincidence. Why is it? So get you a pencil. If you're doing any 369 prayers or 369 prayers, or I'm going to talk about something in a minute. I don't have it in here, but I am going to talk about it. But if you're doing any 369 prayers, or you're doing any written mantras, on my candle now, I write in pencil. I still use the color, but I also write what I want in pencil. So I might write the name of the angel in pen, but I write what I want them to do in pencil. And it might take a little bit longer for me to switch back and forth. I'm fine with that. The pencil is really, really important. Another thing is, if you can get you some I didn't think this all the way through. I'm sorry, y'all. When I would have pulled all this stuff out. But something else. See how this is 100% cotton. If you're not going to use parchment paper, which parchment paper is way too expensive, and I don't like the fact that you don't know the process in which they get the parchment paper, right? So the reason they want you to use parchment paper is because it's natural. Well, cotton is natural too, 100% cotton. You can get you some 100% cotton paper. If you do the post thing with the new moons and the full moons, or the right burner release, I burned some today. This paper burns really, really cleanly, much more cleanly than the regular printer paper. So get you some. Doesn't matter what color it is. This is just the one that I have out. I have another couple colors, but you want to get you some 100% cotton paper. Use that for your right burner releases. I'm suggesting that. That's what I'm doing now. Trying to think if there's anything else. If it is, I'll come back and talk about it in a minute. So let's get into this Apocalypse of Abraham. So I had mentioned or reposted the video I made where we were talking about I was talking about Yael, and I had forgotten all the stuff related to Yael and how to deal with Azazel. And so when I went back into the Apocalypse of Abraham and read some of the stuff, I was like, oh, this is where this stuff came from. This wasn't like something I had made up, because sometimes I don't be knowing where the stuff come from. Because if you'll remember, I mean, I made a video about this, but I'll sum it up. If you remember, in Sagittarius season, that was when they started to try to get our men and our women to really fight. And they did that every year. As I have noted, that around something with Sagittarius, they just try to come in and get the men and the women to fight. And so we're coming up on the Sagittarius full moon. So that was in the new moon, which was around December the 13th. Now we're coming up on the Sagittarius full moon, and we should be removing any blockages between our men and our women, our relationship. Well, I noticed that they are deliberately trying to keep us fighting still. So that is why I said or suggested that we actually start a fast on May the 16th, and we spend 40 days praying for our brothers. Now, maybe I can find this. I'm not that technically advanced, but we're going to see if we can find this video. Let me show y'all this video from TikTok. Okay, here. I'm going to show y'all this video from TikTok. Hold on, what happened? Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Okay.
Men and women are never going to get along until men
Hopefully y'all can hear it.
acknowledge their betrayal.
What? Why does it do that? I didn't say to pay anybody. What the heck?
And it's going to take their forefathers to come out with the truth
Hopefully y'all can hear it.
before they can even acknowledge that betrayal. Let me cook. See, there were 24 elders. And amongst those 24 elders were women. And the women that was the 24 elders were the ancient siblings. Black women, if you have the gift of prophecy, if you just be knowing, if you say you have the gift of foresight, it's because you come from a divine bloodline that is of the ancient siblings. Men stole our rituals, stole our rights, and put it in a book called the Bible. The prophecies in that book came from us. We predicted the eclipse that we just had, and we prophesied the trajectory that is literally in the biblical text that it was going to take when it came. And what's even more interesting about this is the ancient symbols predicted this betrayal. I want y'all to do some investigation, and I really want y'all to see where the Vatican is strategically placed and what's underneath the Vatican. Whose
I'm not even
ancient
gonna
bones
pause.
are underneath the Vatican?
I'm gonna wait
But
for it to
here's the
finish.
thing, man, specifically the black men, because y'all went against us, and then you sided with who you sided with, and then they betrayed you, and now we live in the world that we live today, where all of us of this color is being subjugated and oppressed. You betrayed us, you backstabbed us, and y'all wonder why we will never get along, because they have been so far removed, men have been so far removed from the truth that they don't even know that they betrayed their own. You went against us. In the very beginning, in your forefathers, predecessors, whatever you want to call them, hid the truth from you. Y'all tried to convince us that we needed to make children the way y'all wanted us to make children, when the fact of the matter is that we never needed y'all to make them. We're of the ancient symbols, the ancient divining serpent. Mommy, what time? Men and women are never
Okay.
going to get along.
So, first of all, over here on this channel, we already knew that the bones of our ancestors was underneath the Vatican, and that they were using them to divine. That's something we found out almost 2 years ago now. And we did a whole thing, all of us, to release those spirits from their hiding place so that they couldn't be used to prophesy in that manner. So we already took care of that. It's just interesting that now people are starting to figure out what happened. The second part of that is, if our men have a problem, expecting someone else to come and tell them the truth is very foolish. And I don't think that that's the way to approach the situation. And I feel very strongly about that, because it's not that it's my responsibility alone to protect any of these men, but I have an old man and I have a son, and I don't want to leave a world where the men are left behind from this ascension process that's going on because they didn't have the proper tools to heal. I feel like the reason why a lot of women have gotten their healing first is so that we could look back, step back, and help the men also do the healing. Now, there's a lot of ways that we could approach helping someone to get in a position to be healed, right? But the one that resonates the most with me is one that our people have traditionally done. And what it is, it's when the woman prays for someone, our prayers. And so if you guys remember, there's an old gospel song, I had a praying grandmother. And so the grandmother could not convince the child not to do something stupid, because a lot of children don't have no respect for their parents nor grandparents when it comes to wisdom, based on their own foolishness and youth. And so what we have to do, what I'm recommending, is that we take the 40 days and we just pray for our men. Because it wasn't the fact that the prayers of our grandmothers, even our ancient grandmothers, are the ones that got us to this point. That means that it will be the prayers of our prayers that will get the men to the point where they're able to evolve. And so everybody might not feel compelled to help the men in this way, and you're in no way required to. This is not something that everybody has to do, or if you are already going to do a fast or whatever in some other kind of way, that's perfectly fine. This is not required. But what I'm saying is that I feel compelled to lend my energy to making this place better, because if not me, then who? Who is going to heal our people if not us? If we can't be willing to just step in when obviously something needs to be done, because something needs to be done. This ascension process should have been over by now, but it almost feels like, and we're stalled out. Some people feel like they're moving, and that's fine, but I don't look at it like, oh, how am I doing? I'm looking at it like, oh, how are our people doing? And not necessarily just by skin tone, but just Abrahamic humans, as I described. How are Abrahamic humans doing? And you do see a lot of people awakening their human DNA with their compassion that they're having for that battle, whatever going on over there with those people. However, I don't see nobody having no compassion for our people and for our men specifically. What I see is a lot of women waking up and saying, oh, these men did this, just like the lady. No offense to her and no shade or anything meant, but waking up and saying our men betrayed us. Okay, but who betrayed our men? Before our men betrayed us, who betrayed them? Because we know this is a cycle. It's a cycle. If they betrayed us, they learned it from somewhere. Who did they learn it from? Oh, maybe they learned it from us betraying them. So when they got the chance, they betrayed us. This is always a cycle. And we have to end. This is what generational curses? This is what generational curses looks like. There we go. Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And that's what we want to do. We're going to do some effectual prayer for this cycle to be broken. I mean, this cycle, the first time this cycle reared its ugly head with me was way back in 2022, when I was trying to reach out to some women, and that wasn't very successful. And I was trying to figure out, well, what's the problem? Why are we having these issues? Why is everybody getting so angry? And then this was when the Meg the Boy Horse and the Tory Lanez thing was going to trial, and our men and our women were fighting against each other. Now, fast forward, we have Kendrick Lamar, of all the people, standing up and defending us, the women, against BBL Drizzy. Because I tell this story all the time. The reason why strippers are popular in our culture is because of BBL Drizzy. Before he came along and started crying over strippers, that was not a profession that people looked up to. It was kind of like a last resort. You were, you were pretty and you had money. You're going to have to go and sell your body to take care of your family. It was a last resort. He turned it into a popular pastime. And so Kendrick, in his Not Like Us diss of BBL Drizzy, and also Metro Boomin, I got a picture with him somewhere. I met him like just before he got famous, which I remember today. But those two brothers together, number one, they have effectively. What are you looking for? This. Here you go.
Nothing to look for.
Okay. I mean, they effectively took down the whole BBL culture, because who is going to be getting BBLs now? For real, like they've been tied to Drizzy. Like, who is going to be getting BBL? So they've dismantled BBL culture and its fascination. They dismantled the serial abuser Drizzy and his insane love for women of the night. He put a separation between who is us. When Kendrick is talking about us, everyone knows he's talking about non-abusers, non-PDF files, okay? And people who respect humanity. He put a division. So now when we say us, we're not talking about us as in women versus men. We're talking about non-PDF files versus PDF files. Like, that's a huge, that dynamic is going to take a while for people to really recognize that it's not, the us versus them is not men versus women. It's always been men versus women. When have we never had an us versus them that wasn't men versus women? Now it's non-abusers versus abusers. That's a huge win. And Kendrick didn't have to go out on a ledge for us like that. That was totally he did because of what BBL Drizzy said about his wife, but he went out on a ledge for us. And so it is the right thing to do for us at this time to return the favor and pray for our men, because they just didn't have to do this for us. And it's not just, these two brothers. They're a representation of what our men are trying to do. They don't have all the tools to get it done, and how could they have all the tools? We don't even have all the tools. All we really have is our prayers. And so if a rising tide, as I mentioned, raises all ships, if we're raising, then it's our responsibility to help the men raise, to help the vibration of the planet raise, so that everybody has the opportunity to ascend. This is about securing your ascension. And if you really want to be the quote-unquote ruler over this land, then you have to actually do what a king does, do what a queen does, do what a leader does. And good leaders of organizations, groups of people who will follow after you relentlessly, good leaders are always willing to get down to the level of their lowest employee and do their job. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a show called Undercover Boss. And what would happen? The undercover boss would come into the organization as the lowest employee in there, and they would just do their job. And by watching this employee do their job and going around with them, he would realize, man, this employee, they do a lot of work and they're really underappreciated. I need to do something for them. And that's what we are given the opportunity. This is what this life experiment is. We are obviously, outside of this life experience, rulers of kingdoms. We chose to incarnate into this life experience to go down to our lowest level employee, which is man, and see how they were doing. And down here in this experience, we're seeing they're not doing so well. There are things that are are that they need that they don't have. There's experiences that they need that they don't have. What can we do about that? So this is our opportunity to reach down to the lowest vibrating employee there is, which is man, and provide some assistance, because on Undercover Boss they would give the man a big, they would give him a raise, they would maybe give him a better job, they would give him some money, they would work to improve the conditions, so on and so forth. They made the change. The boss, who was inside the organization, will go to the lowest vibrating employee in the organization, the lowest paid employee in the organization. They would encourage that employee, and that organization as a whole would get better. This is the experience that we're in now. This is the opportunity that we have to actually go in, see what's going on with our men. Obviously there's a big problem, there's a big disconnect. Reach out to them and give them the opportunity, the possible ability to also ascend, because it's no fun to ascend by yourself. We don't want to be the only ones that ascend. We want the contrast of a masculine energy and a feminine energy. And a lot of people are taking this stuff and they're thinking that it is like the girl in the video. She's like, this is just the end. Like, this is what has to be done. And it's like, wait a minute. Is nobody looking for solutions? If you know the bones are under there, under the Vatican, what are you doing to free the energy? Nobody got solutions. Everybody got a lot of problems, but nobody has solutions. And there's people, when they get to be comfortable financially or whatever, then they stop looking for solutions. This has nothing to do with money for me, personally, because I have no money on the line in this situation. It's just the right thing to do, to not let your brother suffer when you have the opportunity to pray. We're supposed to use our prayers to help people. Segue into the mystery school. So we need a place where we can congregate and come together and really learn some of the mysteries that have been left for us. And they've been left for us in a variety of places. And I've been talking about this stuff on and off, and I wasn't really sure what to do with the information. But then one of the sisters pointed out to me that one of my innate superpowers is that, I can reach into my mind and pull out a file of information and tie it into a problem that somebody has. That's information that needs to be documented. And part of the problem that we have is that we don't have a structure for documenting this kind of information so that it can be easily passed on down into the next generations, which is built off rank and mutual respect. And so that is what a fraternal order is. So I have been railing against the demonic nine for years now, just railing against them, because I feel like they took a lot of the information, a lot of the stuff that we did, a lot of the good stuff, and they attached it to these different entities, these different Greek entities, and they're using it to power these different Greek entities. So what we need to do is we need a counter. And so that is going to be our mystery school. And I'm not going to talk too much about that now, but I wanted to bring it up that this is where we have to go. This is before we can really, we're working on changing this stuff structurally, right? If you're in my No Money, Grow Money group, we're getting ready to start working on securing your interest in the full faith and credit of the United States. If you're interested in that, of course, send me a message or an email, join the Telegram. We're going to start working on that, getting everybody set up. And everybody who send me messages, I got y'all, okay? The group is not put together yet, but we're going to meet on Monday at 8:30. But so we've got the framework for how we're going to set ourselves up, set our families up, so that they don't have to start from the bottom in the next, as they come through their coming of age period, they're not going to have to start at the bottom of the totem pole. They're going to be able to start from a position where they can easily elevate. So we've already got in place, that part of the structure. The next part of the structure is the social structure. We have to build the social infrastructure. And it's not that, my one organization, what I'm doing is going to be effective across the planet. I'm not thinking that. What I'm thinking is, if I can build an infrastructure, a structure, in about a year and a half or so, other people will be able to pick up on that vibration in the collective, and other people will start building their own or similar structures, or maybe they'll want to join in with our structure, and we'll have chapters and stuff like that. So but either way, we'll still be able to pass down the knowledge that's been held for us in the way that it was passed down to us. So there's two different parts that we're going to start with. One is going to be a part, well, there's going to be three different parts. One is going to be starting with, there's a set of lessons that I have that we need to go through to gain a firm foundation in how to properly utilize our minds for manifestation, but just in general, how to think about philosophy. That's one set of things. Then another set of things is actual rights, like how to organize stuff, how to deal with ranks, how to recognize, different things. That's another set. And then the last set of things is actually doing spiritual work for one another. So sending out custom made candles. People have problems, they know who to go to. They have, instead of going to one medicine woman, you have a whole, we can get together as a group and discuss, okay, this person's having this problem, how do we deal with this? Oh, this is this person's specialty, this is that. So we have a network of individuals who all specialize in their own certain thing, where we can attack people's problems and solve it. So for example, if somebody comes into, to one of us and like, oh, I really need help because I don't have housing, this and that, they say, okay, well, let's send you to sister such and such. She has it set up for if people need housing. This one has it set up for if people need, food. This one has it set up to get you started in your own business so that you can start making money. This one has it set up to get your kids into school or the private school or online school or whatever. We just got and it's not so much work on one person, because we're able to attack anybody's specific issue as a organization of people, because that's what these mutual aid societies did. If you look up like the Odd Fellows and some of the other ones from the early 19th century, right before the turn of the 19th century, especially the 1800s, right after Reconstruction, this is the kind of stuff they did. If you had people who died and they couldn't be buried, if they were a member in one of these organizations, the organization will come together and make sure everything was taken care of. That's called, it's viewed as a fraternal order, but it's also mutual aid. It's so that you don't have to try and figure out all this stuff on your own. There's no way that one person could solve all the problems of everybody. I always say this. You could come to me, I'll give you technical all day. But if you want warm and fuzzy, you need a pat on the back, I don't really do that. I mean, that's not really my forte. Like, I'm going to talk to you technical. I'm going to give you the black and white of it. But can I give you the warm and fuzzy of it? I don't function like that. I don't do that with my kids. We don't do warm. That's just not me. I'm a technical person. I'm going to give you the technical of it. Like, listen, you're stupid. Like, you need to stop being stupid about whatever it is and get over it. That's how I address problems. You might want to kind of deal with that stupid stuff first, and then you can deal with everything else. That's how I address problems. But there's other people who are warm and fuzzy and caring and all of that. That's when you need, like, you have to be able to tag team in and out. And so I feel myself, now that I have the structural foundation of how to get people physically into their own selves, the power that's assigned to them from the land. Now we have to move on to social issues, and that's a lot of people don't want to deal with social issues. You have to have a heart and a You have to have a heart and a passion for people. And a lot of people do not have a heart and a passion for people in order to be involved in social concerns. You have to also know social issues. Um, and a lot of people don't know social issues. They're just not aware of what other people go through, and they don't really want to get involved with that because that will require them to be willing to give up what they have and follow Jesus. And a lot of people, they don't want to do that. And I understand this is no judgment for me, but that's not me. I wasn't built like that. I never been built like that. So I have to get ready for the next set of things that the Most High is going to have me do. And this, all of this financial stuff and all that stuff is good, and we're going to get it taken care of, and we're going to get people set up. But after that, now we have to get into the social issues. Now we have to get into passing on the spiritual knowledge, passing on the real history, passing on our ancestral history. And this is what is coming up in the actual moon. Where's my, oh, here it is. This is what is coming up with this Sagittarius moon. One of the things that, so before I say this, one of the things that I'm doing now is when the people who are in my lunar working group, and I'm going to talk about this on the video when I make it, because I have the information ready to go, but I'm just going to mention this to people. When I make the list of all the angels that are affecting me during a particular lunation, I do that first so that I can write down what I want to ask them for. I then go back and look at the overall thing that I asked for. So because it's kind of generic. So for example, we got Asmodel. Asmodel is the angel over Sagittarius. And so Asmodel is connected with the ways of holiness that behold divinity and cosmic love. Okay, this is what Asmodel deals with. This is why this relationship stuff comes up, because this is Asmodel's thing, cosmic love. Okay, so what I will do is when I write my main sentence that I put on my candle, then I take that and I turn it into a 2 or 3 word personal thing that I'm asking for. So I took that, like the ways of holiness, divinity, cosmic love, and I turned it into know the ways of holiness. And so I do a I am statement with each one of the angels, what that short phrase is. So and what I do is, usually it would be for 3 days. I might do it 3 times for 3 days. This time they had me do it a little bit differently because it's really, really long. I have a lot of points that's at this full moon. I can already feel, and we just finished the new moon. Like the day after the new moon, like the next day, I could already feel the energy of the full moon because of how much I have. Let me see. Y'all would not even believe this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 different placements active total. Now I think what I put in the video is like maybe 4 or 5, but I have 13 myself that's activated by this Sagittarius new moon. This is why the energy has been really, really rough for me. So I take that, I put it into my I am statement that I write, and then depending on what makes sense, you could do 3, 6, 9 if it's short, meaning 3 times in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, 9 at night. You could do 3 times in the morning, 3 times at night. You could do 2 in the morning and 2 at night. You could do 2 a day. It depends on what works out for you. So the last time for the new moon, I didn't do anything. It wasn't impressed upon me to do it. But this time I'm doing it every single day, twice a day. Whatever it is I'm writing. And that's one way that you can make that energy personal. Like I said, normally I start the day before the lunation, the day of the lunation, and the day after. This time I started on Tuesday or Wednesday, right after the day at what soon as we was out of heavy new moon energy, I was already working on the full moon. So this energy is really, really active to me, and I guess that's why really haven't been able to be on screen, because I asked for these blockages to be removed, or I asked for access to this energy, and I've been getting the access to this energy, and it's been a lot. So I had to really process that, and so this stuff is not, it's not for the faint of heart and whatever. And this is the kind of stuff that would be taught in a mystery school. So there's already levels of the mystery school active. It's just we're going to add some more levels and make it a little more in depth, I guess would be the best way to describe it. A little more structured. I know that people don't like structure, but I feel like we need structure. I need structure. And we have to teach our children structure. And so we want to have things that they just know how to do, how to deal with people, how to interact with people, with the elders and stuff like that. So more information about the mystery school is going to be coming, but that's the direction that we're going to go. Um, with the knowledge, we have to document our true history, and then we have to have a way of protecting it that doesn't jeopardize our safety. So you would do that in a private setting, and you would pass it down, you know, mouth to ear, not necessarily teaching it in a regular school, but in this kind of mystery school tradition. And we do have a very rich mystery school tradition. And I asked, like, okay, well, if Zeta Kettlebob was a Shuman or a female shaman, well, what was her mystery school? Like, how did she teach this stuff? How did she learn this stuff? So this is what information I asked for, and this is how it was revealed to me. This is going to be the method that we have under the blessing of Jupiter, the blessing of Gaira. So, I was going to talk about the apocalypse of Abraham. Um, it's already been 50 minutes. I think I'll save that for a separate standalone video that I'm going to make specifically regarding the prayer fast. Because I don't want to clutter this information up. But just know that we have access to Yael, and we have to get our brothers in tune with that energy. And the only way that we can do that is to pray for them so that they have that energy attached to them. And so I'm, going to, like I said, share the information regarding the prayer. And all it is going to be really is a prayer that you say once a day. It's the prayer. It's 2 psalms, which are both pretty short, and that's going to be it. You can do there's a right burner release that goes along with it. You can do one at the beginning, one at the end, one a week, whatever. You don't have to do it every day, but there is a right burner release that goes along with it. So it's not like it has nothing to do with food or anything like that. It just has to do with encouraging our men and our boys and our children to work with Yael and to remove Azazel from them, so that they can have the opportunity to think, so that they can identify Azazel and Onoskelis in their life. And again, if you want to know what I'm talking about, I reposted the video. It's about Yael and the prophet Nahum. You can go back and listen to it, because I could wax on about that. That video is like an hour and a half. I could literally right now talk for an hour and a half just about that. That's why I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna bring it up, because it's just too much. But I hope everybody gets the point. I will have my oils and my washes together to start selling soon. But because I want an anointing oil too, which I think I have, that I like. Just want to verify with the energy that I don't need to add anything else. So still going through product testing and checks. So again, if you're interested in any of the stuff that we have going on, If you notice, like I mentioned in the beginning, I have not been live on screen in probably since the Sagittarius new moon, just about. And I have been really focusing on things that I needed to do for myself into the cocoon phase, pretty much. And now that I feel like I have the firmness and belief that we're just about done with that part of the underground process, now it's time to go out and be social and engage in people socially and really work on some of these social issues. And so, that being said, I'll probably be doing more public stuff now. Now that I got a lot of the private stuff out of the way and we have our groups and stuff together and we're kind of rolling along. But so if you're interested in any of the groups, I don't charge a fee. We will charge a fee for the mystery school because it's going to be products that goes along with what's going on. So we're gonna have to do something. I have something in mind, but I just want to verify that it's reasonable. Um, and I'll get back to y'all about that once I'm sure. Um, but the point isn't the price. The point is actually for people to get the knowledge and know how to set up their personal family structures. Like we're doing personal family banking, so you can set up the bank for your family, but we're also going to learn how to set up the structures, like the actual structure in which your family should operate. And that is what I hope people will take from that. So we have the No Money Grow Money group that's in the description. We have the Lunar Working Group if you want to get access to our new moon and full moon information. So I don't put that public anymore. Um, we have the tribe is getting ready to be launched. That's another umbrella organization that pretty much everything is going to come through that. And the way that the tribe is going to work, what our people have always done is that if you're having a problem in your native group of people, you could leave your group of people and go join another group of people. That's why there was always a mixed multitude. And so instead of trying to tell you what tribe you're from, because that's not fair, I don't think, in my opinion, you will, within this band of Indians, you will be able to maintain your tribe. So if you think you're the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, whatever, you can keep that. If you think you're Cherokee, uh, Powhatan, uh, whatever, you can keep that. Nobody's going to. If you're German or Irish or whatever, also tribes, you can keep that. Nobody. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna take anybody's tribal affiliation from them, and force you to assimilate into our tribe. You keep your tribal affiliation, and you're just joining our band. You're just gonna be a band member. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that these tribes are not doing properly. They're forcing people to take on their history when our people never did like that. When you come over to my tribe, you're not going to be forced to give up whatever tribe, whatever you call it. You will maintain that appellation, that title, that rank, that tribe. You maintain that. You don't have to give up your tribe to join my tribe. What I'm doing is creating a structure, an organizational structure where people can come together. And I feel like more quote unquote tribes are going to have to do that in the future because that's how it's always been. If I'm from a particular area and I want to join a particular tribe, I should not have to give up my heritage in order to join your tribe. And a lot of times that is what they do. They make you give up your heritage from your tribe in order to join their tribe, whatever it may be. You know, I was reminded today that I for sure I'm some kind of Hebrew because I believe I behave like a Hebrew woman for sure. So I can't say, oh, I'm not Hebrew at all. I just know that I'm also, Piscataway, also a Chapel Hillian. So I'm not giving up any of my other parts of my lineage just to be Hebrew, but at the same time, I'm not going to ignore the Hebrewness that is clearly evident in my behavior. That would be wrong too. So that's just kind of like the mind games. Like, I don't know if people are doing it knowingly. I don't want to accuse anyone, but it's just like these are the kind of mind games that are being played. So we avoiding all the mind games. You keep your tribal status, whatever your tribe you're in, and you're just becoming a member of our tribe as a protection thing, as a covering, not as a I got to give up X, Y, and Z title to be a part of that title. So the tribe is coming, and we're going to offer a lot of different stuff with that. Identifications, driving rights. We even have insurance set up. Tags, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to start with. Again, all social stuff. So we got a lot. I'm working on a lot of stuff. So, I appreciate everyone's prayers and whatever support that you provide. Participation that everybody has been doing. I really appreciate y'all for that. I know I'm just some crazy rambling person on the internet, and you don't have to trust me at all with anything that comes out of my mouth. And I'm deeply grateful that people do. They believe me as much as I believe what I'm saying. They trust the words that are coming out of my mouth as much as I trust the source that I'm getting it from, and I'm deeply grateful for that. Eventually, I am going to have to transition into calling myself chief. I don't particularly care for that. I'm really not looking forward to that. I will tell you, it's another title that is customary. If I don't use the title, it just won't make sense. And so we'll get there eventually. I'm not ready for that. Personally, I'm still processing that as a I'm still processing that, honestly, because it's a great deal of power that I never even asked for, and I don't want, but I don't know how else to get the job done, because it's so many people that just don't care about whether y'all are happy or sad or survive or don't survive. And these wolves are like everywhere, and I don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable letting people that I know that I've prayed for get led away by the wolves. For what? Like, we study together, we pray together. I'm just gonna let the wolves carry you away? Like, question mark. I don't feel comfortable with that. So that's why we are looking for to do this a different way, in my opinion. So of course, if anybody needs me for anything, shoot me an email. They need your chart or anything like that, all that stuff is on my website. I am still doing that stuff. I just don't really do promotion. I feel like people is trying to sell people stuff all the time. I'm just like, can we just get the knowledge down? I mean, there's plenty of time to buy and sell. Right now, we need the truth. And so I hope this message reaches people well. I hope that I gave y'all some good things to protect yourself, and that people take their protection very seriously, and don't let these different entities creep in on you. It's a lot of weird energy out here. And so if necessary, we'll do another video talking about this. But in the meantime, shalom everyone, peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.